Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abimbola. So today we'll be learning how to cut and sew this beautiful dress. So this dress was originally made using a cupped corset pattern for the upper bodice. But in this tutorial, we'll be using a Bustier pattern for this upper bodice. So this is just because my client doesn't want a cupped corset. If what you want to use for yours is a cupped corset, I have lots of tutorials on how you can achieve a cupped corset pattern on my channel. So I'll drop a link in the description box below so you can access the cupped corset pattern on my channel. Let's get right into today's tutorial. So the first thing I did was to mark out my points. So I have the top line, which will also serve as the shoulder line. And then I have the chest line, I have the bust point, the under bust, and then my half length, and also the shoulder to the navel point. So on the top line, I'll go ahead and take my shoulder measurement divided by 2, and also on the chest line, and I'll go ahead to connect the 2 points together with a straight ruler. Now for my shoulder slope, I'll come down by 1.5 because of course I'm working with a 2 fabric, so I'll come down by 1.5. And for my neck width and neck depth measurement, I'll be using the basic neckline, which is 3 by 3 inches. So I'll mark that and connect both points with a curved ruler. Now I'll connect my shoulder slope to my neck with a straight ruler. So I'll go ahead to connect the points together. So on the armhole depth, I'll go ahead and locate the midpoint for the armhole, and then I'll mark it. At that point, I'll go in by half an inch, and then on my chest line, I'll take the bust measurement divided by 4, and I'll also mark it. So I'll connect the 3 points together. That is my bust to the mid armhole and then to the shoulder slope. Now at my under bust, I'll go ahead and take my nipple to nipple measurement. That's the bust span divided by 2, and then I'll mark it at the under bust. I'll also take the bust span measurement divided by 2 on the navel line. I'll take it on the navel line and then connect the points together. To get my over bust line, I'll go up by 1.5 inches, and then I'll mark the 1.5 inches like so. And I'll go ahead to rule that point. Now that is my over bust line, so I'll go ahead to label it. I'll further extend my nipple to nipple measurement, that's the bust span divided by 2. I'll extend it to the over bust line, and then I'll connect it back to the under bust with a straight ruler like so. On my bust point, I'll come down by half an inch, and then at the under bust, I'll take 1.25 inches to the left and 1.25 inches also to the right. So I'll take 1.25 inches to the left and also 1.25 inches to the right, which makes a total of 2.5 inches. And then I'll go ahead to extend the same 1.25 inches to my navel line. So I'm extending both points with a straight ruler. I'm connecting both points rather with a straight ruler. Now I'll connect my under bust tightening to my bust point. That's the 1.25 will be connected to my bust point. I'll also go ahead and connect on the other side with my curved ruler. I'll connect from the under bust to my bust point. That's the 0.5 inches we came down at the bust point. I'll connect it to that point. Now for my over bust tightening, I would use 0.75. You can use the 0.75, you can use 1 inch. So I'm marking the 0.75. At the bust point, I'll go up by half an inch and mark that point, and then I'll connect the bust point half an inch to the over bust tightening. So for my over bust tightening, I eventually used 1 inch. So I'm connecting the 1 inch to my bust point. That's the 0.5 inches we came up at the bust point, and I'll blend it like so. I'll do the same to the other side, and then I'll connect the 2 points together and also blend it in like so. For my sweetheart neckline, I'll come down from the over bust line by 1 inch. This is because she doesn't want that part too revealing. So I'll come down just by 1 inch, and then I'll go ahead and connect it, that's the 1 inch, to my over bust. I'll connect it like so. Now I'll extend my over bust line outwards, outside of the armhole curve a bit. Now on that line, I will take 1 inch, that is half of the total measurement we use for our overbust tightening. For the overbust tightening, we did 1 inch to the right and 1 inch to the left. So I'm replacing what we have taken out from the overbust, but I'm not replacing completely, I'm just doing half of it. I hope you understand that. Now on the half length, which is also the waistline, I'll take the waist measurement divided by 4 plus our dart allowance. That is 2.5 inches. That's the dart that we took when doing our underbust tightening. I'll add up that 2.5 inches to whatever the waist measurement is, and then I'll mark it on the waistline. On the chest line, I will also take the bust measurement plus our dart, which is 2 inches, and then I'll replace it as well and mark it like so. And then I'll connect the bust to the 1 inch we came out at the over bust, and then to the shoulder slope. I'll connect all the 3 points together. Now I'll connect the bust to the waist measurement with my ruler. I'll also go ahead and blend in my overbust to my armhole using my curved ruler. So I'll just find the suitable shape that I want, and then I will blend it in using the curved ruler. Now that we have all of this done, I'll go ahead now to take my waist to hip measurement. So the waist to hip I'm using is 8 inches, and then I'll go ahead and mark my 8 inches. I'll also go down by extra 2 inches. So I'll rule out those points now with a straight ruler. Now I have my hip line, and then I'll go ahead to label the hip line. Now on my hip line, I went ahead to take my hip measurement divided by 4, and then I marked it at that point. And then I'll also go ahead to mark the same measurement I was taking on the hip line on the 2 inches line below the hip line. So I've done that. The next thing I'll do is to extend my dart leg from the navel down to the hip line, and then I'll replace the dart on the hip line. As I'm replacing the 2.5 inches on my hip line. So I'm trying to extend that line and then replace the darts. So I'll mark it like so, and also mark it on the 2 inches below the hip line. So now I'll go ahead to connect my hip to my waist measurements using my curved ruler. Now on the side front from the navel line, I'll go up by 1 inch. On the side front, I'll go up by 1 inch and mark that point. I'll mark the 1 inch point at the side front. And then at the center front from the navel line, I'll go down by 1 inch. So now I'll connect the 1 inch that we came down at the center front to the 1 inch at the side front. So now before we connect the 2 points together, I need to fold up the dart leg. So I'll go ahead now and fold them one on top of the other like so, and I'll make sure all my lines are matching. All my lines are going to meet. Now I'll connect the 1 inch I came down at the navel line at the center front to the 1 inch at the side front. That's the 1 inch I came up by at the side front. I'll connect the 2 points together like so. Now that is done, and this is what we have. So if you look at it closely, you'll see that the two lines are not actually meeting. If you are connecting it straight without closing up your dart, they won't actually give you this result. So the next thing I did was to extend my pattern. That's from the shoulder point. I'm taking my shoulder to knee line now. So I'll go ahead now and mark my shoulder to knee, which is 38, and then at that point I'll rule it and then label my line, the nail line. That is also going to extend to the nail line. So I'll go ahead now and take the extension with my straight ruler. I will extend the dart leg to the nail line on both sides. Now I've extended the line, and this is what I have. Now for the shaping of the skirt part, I'll go ahead now and take what I have on my hip line, and whatever I have on my hip line minus 1.5, I'll deduct 1.5 from it, and then I will mark it. So for my shaping, I'm deducting 1.5 inches from whatever my hip measurement is. Now connect the hip to the nail line. I'll connect the 2 points together with the straight ruler. I'll go ahead to cut out my pattern now. I'll go ahead and also slash open my darts. I'll cut through that line to the bust point, so that I can blend the over bust part. So I'll place the two dart leg at the over bust together to see if I have any excess or shortage at any point. So for me in this case, the 2 points actually matched up together. I also did another reconfirmation. I took the measurement that I have on the right dart leg, and also took the measurement I have on the left side to confirm and to be sure that I have exactly the same measurement. Now that that is confirmed, I'll go ahead and cut out all my pattern piece. So I'll start from the skirt part, I'll cut it out, and then the underbust part, I'll also separate it from the yoke. So I'll cut out every piece for my pattern, and then I have the yoke, the underbust part of the babe pattern, and also the skirt part. Now we move to the back pattern. So I went ahead to mark out my chest line and also my waistline. So for the shoulder, I'll go ahead and take the shoulder measurement divided by 2 on the shoulder line and also on the chest line, just the same way we did for the front pattern. And I'll also connect the 2 points with my straight ruler. For the back neckline, I'll also take 3 inches, that's the width, and then for the depth, I did 1.5 inches. So I did 3 by 1.5 inches for the neck depth and the neck width for the back. So I'll then use my curved ruler to draw out the neckline. So the next thing now is to take our shoulder slope, and for the back, the shoulder slope is 1 inch. So I'll mark my 1 inch, and I'll connect the 1 inch shoulder slope to the neck width. So now that is done, the next thing is to draw out our armhole. So on the chest line, I will take bust measurement divided by 4 and mark it out. Then on the armhole depth, I will divide the line into 2 and locate the midpoint, and then at that point I'll go in by half an inch. So I'll then connect the shoulder slope to the mid armhole and also to the bust measurement on the chest line using my curved ruler. Now on the waistline, I'll go ahead and take my exact waist measurement divided by 4, and then I'll mark it on the waistline. Now I'll connect the waist to the bust like so. So the next thing now is to take my hip measurement. On the hip line, I'll go ahead and take my hip measurement divided by 4, and then I'll mark whatever I have on the hip line, and I will connect the waist to the hip with my curved ruler like so. And then I went ahead to label my hip line. So the next thing now is the skirt part of the dress. So from my shoulder, I'll go ahead and take my nail measurement, that's the shoulder to nail, and then I will mark that point. So once I mark that point, I would rule my straight line to for the nail line rather. So now I have my knee line, my hip line, my waistline, and my chest line for the back. So now at the center back from my chest line, I went down by 1 inch, and then I'll connect that 1 inch to the armhole, that's the side back. I'll connect it like so with my straight ruler. For my neck depth, I came down by 2 inches, and then I went ahead to mark that 2 inches. And so now, because this dress has a lacing bar, so for the center back, I went ahead to mark 1 inch for the back opening. I took 1 inch for the back opening, and then I am supposed to mark the corset length, that's the lacing bar length for the back. So for the back, I'm going to take 21 inches for that. So that is where my lacing bar will actually stop. So I went ahead to take the 21 inches mark, and then I would rule that part. Yes. So now I have the corset length. Yes, I have the length for the back. So now I had to reconfirm the 1 inch. So, and then on the new line, that's where the lacing bar will end, I took half an inch, and then I connected both lines together. But please note that after I was done with this pattern, I went ahead to do a further opening of that center back. Like I added extra inches to that part because I wanted it more opened than just the 1 inch I did. So this is to let you know that you can make it as wide as you want. So now this part, the 2 inches part I just marked out, will serve as the part for the lacing bar, and the part which I am ticking now will be cut out of the pattern, and it will serve as the opening. So like I said, you can actually make it as wide as you want. Now from the 2 inches mark, I'll go ahead and connect to my lacing bar. That's the part for the highlights. I'll go ahead and connect it like so. So this will serve as an opening at the center back. Now to avoid gaping, I'll go ahead and take half an inch at that part, that's I'm creating like a dart, like half an inch width. That's the width for the dart. So I created that half an inch, and then I'll connect it to the armhole. So this part will actually be taken out of the pattern. So this is to avoid gaping at that part. So I'm actually going to take that part off. Now I have my back yoke, and then I have the parts for the eyelet. I have my back pattern piece, and also the skirt part. So for the skirt part, I would do my new shaping. Now whatever I have on the hip line, I will take the measurement, and then I'll minus 1 inch from whatever I have at the hip line, and then take that measurement on the new line, and I'll go ahead and connect that part. So I'll go ahead and connect that measurement to the hip. Now on the new line at the center back, I'll go in by half an inch. I'll mark half an inch, and then from the hip line I came down by like 5 inches, and then I connected the half an inch to the 5 inches I came down at the hip line. So I connected both points together like so, and so I'll go ahead now and cut out. Okay, before I cut out, because my lacing bar, that's the center back, would extend into the hip area, so I need to trace out the skirt part separately. So this is me placing the paper under my pattern, and then I'll pin it down together and trace out the part I have for the skirts. That means I'm tracing out from the waist to the knee. So now I'm done tracing out the skirt part. So I'll go ahead now and cut out my upper bodice for the back. So from the length, the blouse length, that's the inbuilt corset length at the back, I went ahead to cut it out, and then I'll cut out the side and show us what we have at the end of the day. So after cutting out my pattern piece, this is what the skirt part looks like. On the draft, I ended the skirt part on the nail, but because this is a long dress, it's actually extending to the hem, that's the floor length. So this is the further extension I did to the floor for the skirt part. So this is the pattern for the front, for the skirt rather, and then you can see the center front is slanted. Now these are my other pattern piece. This is the center front, the side front. My center front was actually cut into two. So this is the front yoke, and then I also have the back piece, and also the back yoke. Thank you all for watching today's tutorial. I'll see you all in my next tutorial. Bye.